This is Ms. Vaca, and these are the function operation notes. The last video was about evaluating functions, so we plugged the numbers in and then used order of operations to get the answer. Now we're going to be doing operations. So we're going to add, subtract, multiply, and divide functions. Okay, these can be written in two ways. These can be written as f of x plus g of x, okay, for adding. Or they can be written in parentheses here, f plus g of x. These mean the exact same thing. Okay, the steps to do this is you're going to evaluate f of x. Like we did last week, you're going to plug in and PEMDAS f of x. Then step 2, you're going to evaluate g of x. So plug in and PEMDAS g of x. And then since this is the adding functions, you are going to add your answers together. Okay, so for example, find f plus g of 4, which means I want to add the functions together, f and g, when I plug 4 in. Okay, so for f of x, I'll have 2x plus 3, and then I'm going to add g of x, which is 5x minus 10. Okay, and the way that we do this is we do the two problems separately. Step 1, evaluate f of x, which I plugged in on the left. So 2, take out x, plug in 4, plus 3, and then PEMDAS that. 2 times 4 is 8. Bring down your plus 3. 8 plus 3 is 11. Then step 2, we're going to evaluate g of x. We're going to have 5, take out x, again, plug in 4, minus 10. PEMDAS says to do 5 times 4 first, so 20. Bring down your minus 10. 20 minus 10 is 10. And then at the very end, you will add your answers. 11 plus 10 is 21. So our answer for this, if I plugged in 4, I would have gotten 21. And that's our answer. Alright, now we're going to subtract functions. These can be written in two ways, f of x minus g of x, and f minus g of x. That means the exact same thing. Your steps are the same. You're going to evaluate f of x first, then you're going to evaluate g of x, and then, since we're subtracting, you're going to subtract your answers. With subtracting, order does matter. Okay, you need to pay attention which function goes first. So in this example, we have f minus g of negative 2. That means we want to take f and put that first, and then put the g second, and then subtract. If you get those out of order, your answer will be wrong. So f is x squared plus 5, and then we want to subtract g of x, which is x plus 2. Okay, again, we want to do these separately. Do f first, and then g, and then we can subtract our answers. Okay? X squared, so take out x and plug in a negative 2, bring down your squared, plus 5. PEMDAS tells us to square first, so negative 2 squared. Negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4. Bring down our plus 5. 4 plus 5 is 9. For g of x, take out x and plug in negative 2. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0, so we'll get 9 minus 0 is 9. So our answer is, if we plugged in negative 2, we would have gotten 9. And that's our answer. Alright, for multiplying, this can again be written in two ways. F of x times g of x, or f times g of x. Same thing. Our steps are the same. You're going to evaluate f of x, then you're going to evaluate g of x, and then since this is multiplying, you are going to multiply your answers together. Alright, for example, we want to do f times g of 4. So for f of x, we have 2x plus 3. We're multiplying. And then g of x is 5x minus 10. So again, we like to do these separately. So I'm going to plug in for f of x, get an answer, plug in for g of x, get an answer, and then multiply those two answers together. So for f of 4, I'll have 2, take out x, and plug in 4, plus 3. PEMDAS tells you to do 2 times 4 first, which is 8. Bring down your plus 3. 8 plus 3 is 11. Alright, for g of x, I'm going to take out x, plug in 4, bring down my minus 10. PEMDAS tells us to multiply first. 5 times 4 is 20. Bring down our minus 10. 20 minus 10 is 10. Alright, so since we are multiplying, we are going to multiply our answers. 11 times 10 is 110. So we're going to write our answer as we plugged in 4 and we got 110 as our answer. Okay. Last example is dividing. Again, it can be written as f of x divided by g of x, or it can be written as f divided by g of x. Same steps. You're going to evaluate f of x, then you're going to evaluate g of x, then you're going to divide your answers. Just like with subtraction, order does matter with division, so you have to pay attention to which function goes on top, or goes first. Okay? In this example, since it's written as f divided by g, we're going to do f first, and then divided by g. It does matter. It's not always going to be f first and then g. You have to pay attention to the way the problem is written. Alright, let's evaluate f of x. So we're going to plug in -1. So 2, take out x, put in a -1 squared, plus 10. PEMDAS tells us to square first. -1 squared is -1 times -1, which is +1. Bring down our 2 times 1 plus 10. PEMDAS then tells us to multiply. 2 times 1 is 2. Bring down our plus 10. 2 plus 10 is 12. I'm going to bring this over here. Alright, for g of x, we have 3. Take out our x and plug in a -1. Bring down your -1. PEMDAS tells you to multiply. 3 times -1 is -3. Bring down our -1. -3 minus 1 is -4. So I'm going to bring that over here as well. So these are my answers, 12 and -4. Okay, since we are dividing, I'm going to divide my answers. 12 divided by -4 is -3. So our answer is, I plugged in -1 and I got a -3. And that would be our answer.